Today, we will be discussing how and why the 5 substitute rule is a game changer for football. Chris has worked in high-level sports as a sports scientist for over 25 years, having started his career as a sports scientist at Middlesbrough Football Club when sports science was in its infancy. Since then, Chris has worked in a number of professional football teams and GB basketball and is currently a sports scientist for UEFA. The first question today is just to give a little bit more context around what is this new rule and how has it come about?
Yeah, so obviously the new rule is a change in the number of substitutes that are allowed in a game of football. And it's been brought in because there have been increasing concerns over time for the health and the welfare of players in the game. The game's obviously, as we know, become more dynamic, more intensive, and despite 25 years of sports science and an awful lot more knowledge regarding what it is that contributes to player breakdown and player injury, actually injury rates in the game haven't really fallen.
Research has shown that previously, in the past few years, there's been an increase in the intensity of matches across the domestic and the national leagues. Do you think this change of allowing 5 substitutes, but only being allowed to be changed over 3 occasions, is going to see an increase in that intensity of these matches once again?
It's not a simple answer to that question. Certainly in some circumstances, it will definitely result in an increase in the tempo or the intensity of the game. But obviously, a substitution is a strategic weapon in the hands of a coach. And coaches will use substitutes and substitutions for different reasons. It may well be that a coach or the team that a coach is managing is in a situation where they feel that there is a need for an increase in tempo or intensity in order to positively impact on the game. Obviously, in those circumstances, yes, of course, they will hope that the tempo increases. But the converse could be true as well. It could be that you actually have a coach who is comfortable with the flow and the dynamic of the game and actually wants to slow the game down. And so, as a strategic weapon, a substitution could actually be used to take the heat out of the game and slow the game down. And then, of course, there are other reasons why substitutions might be used as well. And they are much more tactically focused, where you're not trying to impact on the intensity of the game, either positively or negatively, but simply to do with the interaction between the 2 teams.
That's a really interesting concept of not only the substitutes increasing intensity, but actually doing the opposite, like you say, to slow the game down. So it'll be interesting to see the results of that when studies start to come out.